Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, wipe the drool from your mouths, move to the edge of your seats. It's time to rock, it's time to roll, it's time to bump, it's time to grind, it's time to make some shit up. It's time to put on a show! See that? From behind. You were thinking, weren't you, I'd come through there. Blew your minds. Expectations turned on top of themselves and you're already thinking, oh my God, this guy is changing the way we think about comedy. Welcome. How are you? Really? Really? I think you might think that I'm just saying that, but I really want to know, and I'd be surprised if all of you were good. I think some of you probably have some personal problems. Maybe you're not comfortable sharing them at the moment. That's okay, you can share them later. It's all part of the process. Now, this is Let's Put On a Show. What that means is that this is not like other comedy shows. How many people here have been to a comedy show before? Some of you? Yep. All right. Then you know that comedy shows in general are terrible. Here's what you do at a regular comedy show. You just sit there passively while someone does comedy at you. And I can tell you've all been to comedy shows and you've all sat there going, oh God, he just goes on and he keeps talking. Why won't he let me do anything? I'm so bored, I need a challenge. Where is the comedian who will make me work for it? And so I'm going to make you work for it. Yes. You and I are going to make this show, thank you. You and I are going to make this show together. Does that sound good? Yeah. That's the spirit. Already you're better than last night's. Now, first, some housekeeping. A comedy show needs several things. Jokes, maybe, but more important than jokes is punctuality. This show has to go for an hour and no more. That's what you paid for, that's what I promised you. If I go for more than an hour, I am breaking the contract that we had. Every minute more than an hour that I go on for tonight, that is a minute of your life that I am stealing away. And I don't want to do that. I am not a time thief. I am not some kind of life-sucking Death Eater. I don't know if that reference is correct. I haven't got that far in the Harry Potter series, but I think Death Eaters are bad. Because I don't, but I would think it'd be good to eat death. Doesn't that mean they sound like doctors. Like you can imagine a doctor's coming into you in hospital saying, you're very, very sick, but don't worry, we are going to eat your death. And you'll be fine. I would think a more terrifying villain would be a life eater, but that sounds a bit like some kind of, like a charity competitive eating event that raises money for cancer or something. Like the Life Eaters are going to have Australia's biggest cancer lunch. Which sounds unpleasant. There's not a lot of charitable work in the Harry Potter series. I don't know if you've noticed, but the Hogwarts universe seems very self-absorbed. They're not doing a lot for the underprivileged, these wizards and witches. It's like, yes, you're teaching magic, but are you giving anything back? And I don't think they are, and I think at some point, maybe these wizards should maybe look outside their own little petty problems. There's real shit going on out in the world, you know? The Middle East. I think a wizard might be useful over there. If Dumbledore is supposedly the greatest wizard in the world, which Harry and his friends continually say he is, although notice they never ask him for help. He's the greatest wizard in the world. Maybe he should get over to Gaza and sort that shit out rather than, you know, getting swamped by marking. You know. The point is, I'm not a Death Eater. And I'm not going to suck your life away any more than you've already agreed for me to. So, I want this to finish on time. I need someone in the audience who has a watch. Anyone? You! You were shamed into that, weren't you? What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela, you are the timekeeper. What's the time now?
8:03.
We are already running late. It is not 8:03. Hang on.
You might want to get another time.
Let me check the sun. No.
Daylight savings changes.
Yeah, but daylight savings, we went back. You must have gone back 2 hours when we're only supposed to go back 1. No one else wants to have a go?
9:03.
9:03. All right. Wow. I'm going to check the time with you. Try and sort this shit out. Don't fuck it up for me, Michaela. This is a big thing for me. Word of mouth gets around. Second thing a comedy show needs is a heckler. I said a heckler, not hecklers. Hecklers are confusing. They muck things up. The most important thing about heckling is that it be polite and well ordered. The worst thing you can do as a heckler is be unpredictable. And I don't allow unpredictable heckling. But I can tell you are all going to feel under pressure if I just leave it to you. You are all going to be sitting there, should I be the one who heckles? I don't know, he might do it. You do it. It'll be a bit like when your teacher at school asks, any questions? No one ever has any questions. But eventually, some kid who wants to suck up the teacher's ass is going to ask a stupid question and you have to stay there longer. So, I'm not going to leave it up to chance, and I'm not going to make you feel uncomfortable by wondering whether you should heckle. I'm going to appoint a heckler, and I'm going to give that heckler a list of approved heckles to call out during the show. Who wants to be the heckler?
See, being a timekeeper looks pretty good now, doesn't it?
Yes. We have a heckler! What's your name?
Naomi.
Naomi? Okay. I'm not going to give you the microphone, don't worry. Here's the list, right? Approved heckles. Now, there's 15.
Yep.
You don't have to read them in order.
Okay.
You can pick the order. But you will only call out a heckle of your choice when I say, what's your name again?
Naomi.
Naomi. Naomi heckle. When I yell that out, you yell out a heckle. Okay? Not at any other times. I have had people in here who think that they can freestyle. This isn't that kind of show. This isn't 8 Mile. We're going to do this right. Let's have a test run, okay, Naomi? Naomi, heckle.
Fuck you and fuck your blinking post-structuralist view of society.
See? If I'd left it up to chance, there's no way the heckles would have been that cerebral. Because in my nearly 10 years of doing comedy, the best heckle I've ever got was, say something funny! That's number 1 on my heckle chart. That's as witty as hecklers get. So, count yourself lucky we've got Naomi and me to guide her. But of course, what a comedy show really needs in this festival of ours is a theme. I don't know if you noticed all these comedy shows in the festival, they all have themes. Some good themes are having cancer, having depression. You alright there? Look, I don't know, I put a lot of trust in you, Naomi.
Don't take the paper away.
If I yell at you to heckle, if I call out Naomi heckle and all I get is that's a problem for me.
No, I'm good.
You alright? You're a bit... Okay, yeah.
I just drank at the wrong time.
Is that what, your third, fourth glass of the night? Right. Where was I? Themes. Cancer. Depression. Things that aren't very important, but I'm going to act like they're important, but in a very ironic way so that you know that I really do know they're unimportant. Even though I spend all my time asking. That's a complex theme. and Will Anderson. Will Anderson is a theme often used by comedians such as Will Anderson and Adam Hills. Don't laugh at that. I'm ashamed of myself for saying that. If you wanted to hear that joke, you could have gone to Will Anderson. Heard it 5 times. We want an original theme, right? Here's the thing about me and comedy. I've been doing it for a while now. I don't know what's funny. Or rather, I don't know what's funny to you. I know what's funny to me. That's easy, yeah? But it doesn't matter what's funny to me. What matters is funny to you, and I've never been able to figure out how to determine in advance what an audience is going to laugh at. Which saddens me, because I love comedy. I love comedy, but just because you love something doesn't mean you're good at it. Delta Goodrem loves being on TV. Ironically, she doesn't love being racist, but she's much better at one than the other. I don't know, have you caught that news? Delta Goodrem, she's a racist now. It's true, it was in the news. She was on TV and a black guy sang. And he was like, oh, I really hope Delta get... You know, on The Voice, they coach, they choose their people. You know, they choose the singers that they want to mentor, right? And Delta, this black guy gets on, and Delta, he's like, oh, my favourite person on the show is Delta. I really want her to be my coach. But Delta is like, oh, I think you'd be better suited with Seal. Oh. And then she's like, oh no, I forgot I wasn't supposed to let people know how racist I am. It's supposed to be a secret. But she's okay. She's got a large salary. She's got lots of lovely frocks. She has Seal to service her sexually. And he's particularly good at that because he is half seal. He is a were-seal. So at moments of high passion, he transforms into his seal form. And I don't know if you've ever been sexually pleasured by a seal, ladies, but when you think about the whiskers tickling your thighs, and the flippers getting everywhere, and the moment of climax, they're like, and it's like, wow. They go to some freaky places. I assume, because I'm assuming that's why it's called Seal, because you wouldn't call a kid Seal. I'm assuming his parents aren't that dumb, like they're not. Oh, hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Sorry, you missed out. You missed out on the joining in.
Oh, sorry.
There'll be more. We're just talking about seals, and the singer Seal, who is half seal.
I was listening. Oh, don't you worry.
Yeah, his name's Seal. Yeah, I'm just saying. Are you a parent?
No.
No, but if you were, would you call your son Seal?
No.
No. Good. Correct. You would not. You would not. You would not be there in the hospital and the midwife says, what are you going to call your son? And you say, Seal. And the midwife, oh, all right. Seal Johnson. No! No surnames. He is just Seal. I will not have any son of mine having a surname. It is a family tradition for the men of my line to have no surnames. Well, why are you called Mr. Johnson then? I do not like your tone. Seal's dad, stop hitting nurses. Sad story there. He's done well from that background to rise to his... So I don't know what's funny. Racism is funny, we found that out with Delta. But apart from that, I don't know, because I'm not a mind reader. So, and the thing is, a lot of comedians know what they want to do straight away because that's the reason they get in. They start doing comedy because they want to make a point, because they want to speak their mind, because they have a purpose that they wish to fulfill on stage. And I got into comedy because I wanted to have sex with girls. And it hasn't worked yet. No girls had sex with me due to my comedy yet. But that's why I need your help. I'll give you an idea of what I mean. I am going to show you a scene from my life of the day I decided to be a comedian. And it's going to be in play form. I need a scene partner to come up and do this play with me.
I'll do it.
Whoa! You've redeemed yourself already. Okay. Step
I
up.
can, but I must have my little cider with me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not gonna do anything unpredictable. Okay. No. Okay. First of all, we need to get in character. So.
Sorry, everybody, but this is my first go. I take out my
We have costumes. Take your time. You can have the fez.
Green hat.
You have the green hat. Okay. You're going for the sort of magician look.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I might get you up later to like help me with my tricks. And this is the hat I actually wore from the ages of 7 to 23.
Can I just move this cord around so that I can dance or whatever I want to do later?
Yes. Why don't you do that, Captain Worksafe? You're going to be playing the part of Sandra.
Okay.
What's your real name?
Colleen.
Colleen. That's close.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to start. I'm going to start from over here. Imagine this is a fine day in the 90s, and I'm going for a jog. This is what I learnt in improv. I'm running, but not going anywhere. It's an illusion. And then I start moving over to Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Ben.
What's up?
I'm just hanging out, doing some activities like young people of my age often do.
Wow! That sounds great.
Yeah, it's fantastic and lots of fun, but it's also important that young people take responsibility for their lives and really work hard to make a better future.
That's true, awkward pause. Sorry, that's true, and we do an awkward pause. Have you seen any good comedy lately?
Yes, I often go to the comedy clubs and see comedians of all kinds because I love to laugh.
I've been thinking of giving stand-up a try.
That's a great idea because you are always saying funny things and also you're really handsome, as the ladies will love you.
You actually said that. Thanks, Sandra, but I have a problem.
Oh no! Put hand in horror. Hand. In horror.
Try to act.
Oh, reading it. Yeah, great. I just don't know what to make
No,
a
that's
joke
me.
about.
That's me.
Oh.
That's me.
Sorry.
I just don't know what to make jokes about. Do you have any ideas?
Well, Ben, I really like comedians who speak from the heart.
Oh, that sounds good.
And you talk about your cock a lot.
Cool. So, do you want to go out with me?
Oh God, no.
Thank you. Have a hat back, thanks. Thank you, Colleen. So there, I decided to do comedy and was immediately crushed. But I've persevered. How are we going for time, Michaela?
It's now 6:17. Sorry, it's 9.
Michaela,
9:17.
don't fuck with me.
Yeah, 9:17.
Naomi, heckle!
Show us your tits.
Everyone goes for that.
Sorry.
No, it's just an interesting thing.
I intended to say something else. It just happened.
Yeah, and that's what they say. Not even just in this show. But I will show you my tits later. Now, I've finally come to the conclusion that in order to find out what an audience wants to see in comedy, I have to just ask them. So I'm asking you to give me some themes. What is this show going to be about? Anytime.
Robots.
What?
Greenery.
Hang on, okay. There was first you. What did you say?
Delta's neo-Nazi indoor cricket team.
That's, yeah, okay. That's complex. All right, Delta's neo-Nazi cricket team. What did you say?
Robots.
Robots.
Childbirth.
Now, you've said like 3 different things.
I didn't say anything.
Greenery in the sea.
No, this one. That's who I'm pointing to. Sorry, that's who I'm pointing to.
Colin,
Yeah,
greenery. Greenery or the sea, oceans.
All right.
And then this one.
You're not doing word association here. Can you just
There you go.
pick one?
No,
We've already got 2. We can't have you picking another 3.
I made a suggestion, that's all I was doing.
Side boob.
And the lady behind
Side
me had a
boob.
better idea. Possibly.
What did the lady behind you have?
I just said childbirth.
Oh,
Hilarious.
get fucked.
Okay. No, all right. What we've got.
No, greenery or the sea. Anything green or the sea.
Let me point out, you can give birth to a child in the sea. Or in greenery. Or in greenery in the sea. If you are a whale in a field of seaweed and you go into labour, seals, I don't think do seals give birth in the sea?
No, they come out on the land.
Yeah, so don't confuse me. All right, okay. We've got to make some notes here. All right, we've got, hang on, better from this side. Delta Goodrem's, what was it?
Neo-Nazi indoor cricket team.
Neo-Nazi, I don't even have room for this. Neo-Nazi indoor cricket team. Then we have the sea. Robots. Childbirth. Look, I'm not trying to offend you, Colleen, but let's just say everything that happens is assumed to happen in a green place. And we can save trying to incorporate.
Like it.
Yeah. I thought you would. Now, the task we have is to tie these themes together in a coherent way. Now, it's obvious that the neo-Nazis should be robots. It's obvious that Delta Goodrem should be pregnant. In this, just in general, that's obvious. She's not getting any younger. And somehow it's going to take place in the sea. Now, you've set me a challenge by asking me to do a show about an indoor cricket team at the sea. That is an issue. But just because you've got an indoor cricket team doesn't mean they spend all their time playing indoor cricket, I presume. Does anyone here play indoor cricket? Not even you, who thought it was such a good idea? Indoor cricketers have other interests, probably. You know, they go out, they have a drink, they dance. They're neo-Nazis, so they're into that too. Now, does a neo-Nazi indoor cricket team play in an all-neo-Nazi league? Or are they the representatives of neo-Nazis within a more general competition? Yes, Naomi knows what she wants. And she wants a single team representing the neo-Nazi community in a more diverse league environment.
Yes, please.
Yes. Naomi, heckle!
Cut.
Yeah. That's a controversial word. Yeah, it's in... Oh, we got that. You said it in a capital way. Yeah. I'm sorry if you're offended by Naomi calling me a cunt. But that's the way comedy is. It's offensive. And it's crude. And it's disgusting. And it's misogynist. And it's brutal. Comedy hates women. No, that's not true. But some people wish to reclaim the word cunt as a positive word. I think the boat has sailed on that. I don't think we are ever going to get to the point of a wedding being held where the celebrant of any denomination says, "Do you take this cunt?" Where a couple writes their own vows and they say, "From the first moment I met you, when I saw you looking like a total cunt at indoor cricket." Already we're on the themes. That's awesome. Is Delta Goodrem in the team? Does she sponsor the team?
Why is she on there anyway?
Why is she on there?
Yeah,
That's what I asked when I watched The Voice. Bang!
Why the hell is she on there?
On here.
Yeah, there. Wherever that is.
He said.
Oh, he's a bugger. He said the indoor cricket too.
He said Delta Goodrem's neo-Nazi indoor cricket team. He tied them together. You could have done that.
No.
You could have said underwater's greenery.
Goodness gracious me. Let's get onto the sea and greenery and robots and childbirth.
Delta Goodrem captains a neo-Nazi indoor cricket team, right? We all know this. She's spoken about it at length. The song Innocent Eyes is entirely about that. Do you remember when she dated Mark Philippoussis?
I hate it. Sorry.
I'm a big fan of Mark Philippoussis.
Yeah, she did. Well, anyway, she did. Sorry.
This show changes every night. And if you come back tomorrow night, you will see me and Colleen in conversation. I like that because I like Mark Philippoussis. Because when I was younger, I used to get told I look like Mark Philippoussis. I fucking did! And now I realise things have changed. I still look like Mark Philippoussis, but it's like Mark Philippoussis after he tripped and fell in a giant chip fryer and had to eat his way out. She wrote that song for Mark Philippoussis, and she played the piano, but she played it standing up, and you just realise that Delta Goodrem has really odd legs. It's like she looked like an emu playing the piano. She looked like standing up was a new experience for her. Was it because she's a robot? It doesn't make sense. Surely robots should be better at standing up than us. They've been made by the top minds of our generation. They haven't been made by God like us, who slacked off and cut corners, who made the birth canal much smaller than a baby. Do you know what I have in my... Here is what the theory is of God, is that he is the intelligent designer. Do you know the theory of intelligent design? Yeah. It is that we are created by God We are created by God. But not just that we are created by God, but that He is intelligent.
Wise.
That's the picture of God that we are given, intelligent design. But let me tell you what I have suffered from in the last few days. I have an infected belly button. Ah, exactly. Ew. That's not, how can that even, would an intelligent designer create belly buttons prone to infection? I haven't had a piercing or anything. It's just, what is going on? Why do we even have belly buttons? Anyone know?
It's a birth canal.
Yeah, but why do we have an umbilical cord? Intelligent design. We get the food through the umbilical cord, right? Why couldn't he design it so that a kid just eats through their mouth? Or that food just kind of comes through their skin?
Oh, this is going to be bad.
In the womb.
In the womb! Bear in mind, we are not talking about a guy in his shed at home knocking up a human. It's God. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can make it so that kids can eat with their mouths before they... He can make it so that kids just come out of the ground at the age of 11. But he doesn't. Yes! And Michaela applauds because finally someone is talking sense in this country. Saying what we're all thinking. They can try to silence us, but we will not rest until this government does something about all the kids not coming out of the ground at the age of 11. Will Tony Abbott change this? Probably. He's pretty great.
Golem.
When the NBN comes in, we'll be able to have kids however we want. It's at high speed. Be able to download kids from remote areas. And it's like you want to swap kids with your friend in Broome. Off through the fibre. Naomi, heckle!
You are no Gretel Colleen.
Did everyone hear that?
You are no Gretel Colleen.
I am no Gretel Colleen. Why is it a good heckle? Because it's true. And because now it's got you all thinking, you wish you were watching Gretel Colleen. And got me thinking, I wish I was Gretel Colleen. Do you remember Big Brother? Yes. Gretel Colleen hosted it. It was terrible. Everyone said, Gretel Colleen, she's shit. Fuck off, Gretel Colleen. With your stupid, you know, talking to the guy who's taped his mouth up. Don't you see he's taped his mouth up? Shut up. Don't ask questions of a man with tape on his mouth. He clearly doesn't want to talk to you. Fuck you, Gretel Colleen, we all said. Then they got rid of her and brought in Kyle and Jackie O. And everyone was suddenly, God, Gretel Colleen is so good. I wish she was on every show. But I'm no Gretel Colleen. I'm a simple man telling a simple story about a pop princess's neo-Nazi robots cricketers. On a holiday at the beach, because you need some downtime. They just won the premiership. The
Neo-Nazi cricket team.
Yeah, yes. They won the flag in the inter-philosophy.
Ideology.
Yeah. They beat the Social Democrats in the final. Because if there's one lesson history teaches us, it's that Social Democrats always lose. Still, Maggie Thatcher's dead, so her reign of terror is over. There are people celebrating that she's dead. It's like, I think she already won. She probably died because she realised, I've already fucked the world. I don't need to hang around anymore. I'm off to my eternal rest in hell. No, real talk. Maggie Thatcher was a bitch.
We know it.
We know it, yeah, you remember. You remember the strikes and stuff that happened. I believe, is that what she did? She like, there were people who struck. Do you say that they struck? They striked. That's not right. Do you say the miners struck? Because that sounds like they executed a daring raid. Like they swooped in. No, the miners had strikes, And Maggie Thatcher went in there with her magic hammer and sort of swept them aside. Said, no more striking! We don't need miners. We need bombs. Why didn't you just get the miners to make her the bombs? Then everyone's happy. Anyway, they've won the cup. They've won the cup, and as a reward, Delta Goodrem, their playing captain coach, has taken them to the sea for a nice day out. Now, neo-Nazis love the beach, as you would know. But when those neo-Nazis are also robots, which I believe they are, that's what you were getting at?
I really didn't know what I was talking about.
No. Well, really? You gonna do this to me? You gonna do this to me now? You gonna show me up in front of these people?
Sorry.
Can I heckle you?
No, then everyone will think they can heckle each other. You've gotta... No. Sorry, this is a sponsored segment. Just... That's refreshing. Okay. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with a neo-Nazi robot indoor cricket team going to the seaside. I know it sounds like there's no problem, there is. Robots, what are they made of?
Metal.
Yeah, metal.
They're gonna rust, aren't they? Oh, sorry, it's my sense of humour.
Thank you, Jim Shembry. I'm so glad I got to say that. I wanted to say it last night, but he was here, and I couldn't. Spoiler alert!
Oh, I'm so sorry now, I realise.
They're gonna rust. How about I set up, you do the punchlines, we'll do. I'm Wise, you're Morecambe. Alright. They're gonna rust in the sea. It's seawater. They're not that well designed. Maybe God did make them. They rust. Right? That's a problem because they're due to go on tour the next day. They're rusting. They're all, you know, they're creaking, they're clanking, they're falling over. Delta realises it was a mistake to bring neo-Nazi robots to the beach. She could have taken them to putt-putt. She has a love of the ocean. And she's heavily pregnant and wishes to give birth in a sea turtle nest. She's a weird chick. Delta Goodrem. What's wrong with you? You don't lay... Maybe she does lay eggs. What if Delta Goodrem gets pregnant, right? That'd be a big story, I think you'd agree. It'd be in all the papers. We'd have a lot of stories about her. She'd be on magazines with her baby bump. There'd be something about her heartbreak, her miracle, because she thought she couldn't have a baby, but now she can, because Seal's magic sperm. And she's pregnant, and everyone's great, and she's glowing, and it's like, she goes into labour and starts laying eggs on a beach. I want you to think about Delta Goodrem on all fours. So I'm sure you can get there by yourselves. On all fours, puffing away. Screaming at Seal, fuck you, Seal! Seal can't hear her, he's frolicking in the waves. When my wife was giving birth for the first time,
That was very good.
my wife...
I'm so sorry, but it's really, I have to blow my nose.
It's weird because when you blew your nose, it sounded like you were talking and saying, "That's very good." How are we for time, Michaela?
9:40.
9:30 without Colleen. This is good time. This is filling the time beautifully. When my wife was giving birth, I've had children. I don't like telling you that. I'm embarrassed. Because when I say I have children, you know that I've had sex. Awkward. And now you're all grossed out. It's like, you know, when you go to the supermarket and you buy condoms, and the girl's like, "Ooh, condoms." She looks at you and she's like, "I know what you are planning to do." And it's disgusting. Even worse when you have to buy tampons for your wife. And they give you this look like, "Ugh, you know someone who menstruates." Pig. That's why I like self-serve checkout. It's embarrassing for you to have sex, because sex... Has anyone here ever had sex? No? Just let me... No, I don't think you have. No one? Really? This is what I'm getting at. You'd think it wouldn't be so embarrassing, but it is. You don't want me to know that you've done it.
Fair dinkum, why not? Why should we tell you that?
Why should you tell me? It's none of my business.
That's right.
This is the reason why you don't want to tell me, because sex is a disgusting and filthy act. And I don't mean in a religious sense. I mean, yes, when you do it, it's like a mark against you in heaven. But also, since none of you have had sex, you wouldn't know this, but sex involves actually putting a part of your body inside someone else's body. Why is that acceptable in this society? There's a double standard here. Because if I was to tell you that Michaela and I had recently had sex, you wouldn't believe me, but you would think, fair enough, that's something people do, isn't it? Apparently, that's okay. But if I was to go up to Michaela now and put my elbow in her mouth, you would think that was pretty gross. I hope. And yet, why? Surely it's more gross. I mean, sex is not... It involves fluids and you can catch stuff. Oh. It's like, I mean, if you're going to have sex with someone, why not just eat their hair? If you're that desperate to exchange genetic material. Jesus Christ. Also, it carries the risk of pregnancy, which is a health hazard. Because a large percentage of pregnancies, even in today's age of modern science, do result in children. And I have children, and that's no picnic. But it's probably better that I have 3 children than that I have 100 half-seal turtle babies hatching from eggs on a beach. So there's Delta. See, help me. My wife, when she was giving birth, said, "I don't want to anymore." It's too late to say it then. Say it at least a day earlier. It is too late to say you don't want to when you've already started. That only applies to childbirth. Other things you can. I don't want this to get misreported. Excuse me, man. Sorry, shout out to my Muslim brothers. So Delta's there, she's laying eggs. She needs help. One of the eggs is a breech. Don't really know what that is.
An upside down egg.
It's an upside down egg. How does that work? It'll just fall over. It's coming out sideways. It's unfortunate. Actually, never mind. I don't want to go into what kind of egg. It's like, would Delta have... She's given birth in a turtle nest, which I don't even know if that's a thing. Do turtles make nests? Let me note. I ask, has anyone here ever had sex? Nobody speaks up. I ask a question about an obscure element of marine reptile reproductive processes.
There are other species.
5 people know straight away.
That's why they haven't had sex. I'm sorry, that was...
Turns out you can heckle other people in the audience.
Yes!
Naomi, heckle me!
I literally want to kill you.
The literally is important because otherwise you might think it's just a figure of speech. She's there. Is she giving birth to regular turtle eggs, chicken eggs, emu eggs? They are large and green. They would be painful to push out of a Delta Goodrem. But again, that's this guy's fault. If he'd been smarter, he could have built humans with some sort of aperture. Like, here's how dumb God is. Do you remember those dolls you could get? They were like Barbie dolls, but they were pregnant. And they had a real fetus inside them. And when you wanted the fetus to come out, you just pulled the stomach off, and the baby fell out. We thought that up. The human race thought that up. God, it didn't occur to him. He said, no, we're going to get a tiny little thing, and we're going to get a baby and just bash it. That's actually what happens in childbirth. You know all those pains you get? No one's had sex. Obviously, no one here has had a baby. Have you seen the episode of Friends where Phoebe gives birth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never.
Never?
Well, I've never watched Friends.
No. Okay. Phoebe gives birth. She has triplets. She's in a lot of pain. And the reason is, the process is, in every woman, there is a tiny team of gnomes in their uterus with hammers. And when it's time for the baby to come out, they just start whacking it until it pops out. I love it. You're all looking at me like, really? Writing your reviews, the show was surprisingly educational. In Delta's case, she doesn't have those. If you hit an egg with a hammer, it breaks. And then Delta is full of yolk.
No, that's not bad. That's not good.
No, it's...
I mean, that's not good.
This is like having Bruce McAvaney
No,
in the audience. That's not good. He's gonna regret that later. Yolk is a mistake.
You can't have a full of yolk, mate.
Sorry?
You gotta have Delta full of yolk.
You want to have... Sorry, you can't have Delta full of yolk? No, because she'll leak. It's not that obvious. They make her up when she's on TV, but she's got a lot of apertures.
Punch you in a minute.
Delta, the eggs are coming. They're popping out. They're flying out like ping pong balls. That, because there are some ladies in some countries, they do a thing with ping pong balls.
China.
China.
Philippines.
Fucking China.
Hey, fucking China.
Why are we doing trade deals with China?
Why are we
Why does Julia go over there, kiss their asses, say, yeah, we can swap our money with yours? Why doesn't Julia say, we won't trade with you, China, till your women stop shooting ping pong balls out of themselves? Why? Because she's weak. She's weak. She's dishonest. Jew liar, we call her. We thought that up ourselves. She's not strong like Abbott. So strong he can hardly walk.
Roll 'em.
That's Tony Abbott getting off the plane in China.
Exactly.
And this is my impression of Christopher Pine. I'm Christopher Pine. I'm politics. Got a lot of anger in me. How are we going for time, Michaela?
9:47, Ben.
We have 13 minutes to save the world, yells Seal. For some reason. Delta. Pushing, eggs. There's an egg that's stuck. She needs help. Seal's no help. He's out catching fish. Because he's a seal. That's a logical connection. I'm not saying that because I read Seal's autobiography and he loves fishing and that's a reference you won't get. The neo-Nazi indoor cricket team. They're struggling, but they can't move fast. They're all rusty and there's sand getting in their joints. They're pulling themselves hand and knees along the beach. But they are prevented from getting to Delta to help free the egg because a Jewish beach volleyball team spots them. And they come over and just kick the shit out of them. And the Jews win the fight between Jewish volleyballers and neo-Nazi indoor cricket team. What the fuck am I talking about? They're in trouble, the neo-Nazis. What's going to happen? It's a problem. What is the first thing you do when you see a woman in distress on a beach in the nude with an egg stuck in her opening? I'm trying to be classy here.
Vagina.
No,
I'm the heckler.
she is the heckler. Don't call me a vagina.
Travis over here. We'll have many more
I
if you
think
like.
things that have eggs have cloacas. Does that help?
Does it help? No, that doesn't help. That really doesn't help.
Who are you?
You've got to realise Delta is a special creature. She is not a turtle or a bird. She is fully human and yet fully egg-bearing. She's not a throwback, she's a more evolved species. And she has 100 kids at a time. She's going to take over the world very soon. With her poorly made neo-Nazi robot indoor cricketers. Luckily, although they cannot get to her because they're being beaten up by Jews and they're rusting, they have their cricketing equipment. They have indoor cricket balls. Do you know what an indoor cricket ball is like? It's actually a tennis ball inside a leather covering, and it really hurts when it hits you on the inside of the thigh. They know this. They know this, and yet they know. If they are going to save the life of Delta's egg, they're going to have to hit Delta on the inside of the thigh with a cricket ball. So they start pelting balls at her. It's hard because they're on their hands and knees. It's not the optimum position to throw from. If you've ever watched, Ricky Ponting in the cricket show, when he demonstrates how to throw down the stumps, he is not on his hands and knees. He recommends you be on your feet. But they don't have time to get on their feet. They're rusting. They're hurt. They need to save their Aryan leader so that she can fulfill her destiny of breeding an army of fascist mutants. So they hit. Throw the balls. One hits its mark, whacks her on the thigh, the egg bursts free. The paparazzi go wild. How's that, say the headlines, as the nearest neo-Nazi robot dives forward and catches the egg in his hands. In his hands. Catches the egg, not in his hands.
Good. Yellow yolk. That's what he called, isn't it? Following the story, I think. yellow yolk he catches in his hands, a neo-Nazi catches
All right,
yellow...
yeah, I get it. But here's the thing. There comes a point in the evening, there comes a level of substance in consumption where you yelling out yellow yolk actually sounds like a racial slur. That sounds like what Julie Gillard might have yelled at the Chinese. You yellow yolk! The egg is a very good metaphor for racial harmony between the yellow and the white. Intermingling together. Not blacks though. Eggs are like biracial, not multiracial. No, there's no yellow yolk because he catches it before it breaks, you see. Delta's happy. She has all her little eggs to raise, but they're just eggs. They have to be left there to hatch. But here's the problem. 100 little eggs in a turtle nest. Their mother's exhausted, lying on the sand, being massaged by Nazi robots. It's a lot like when Delta was in Neighbours and that happened to a character. And the Nazi robots took over the coffee shop and... there was a big fight because some people thought, we've got to get them out of Erinsborough, they're Nazis. And other people were like, oh, the caramel slice has never been better. Which is ironic that Nazis specialise in caramel. And not vanilla. When you think about it. So what's the problem? Everything's had a happy ending, hasn't it? Joel Madden spins around in his chair and says, yo, that was great. Eat some chicken. Have you seen those ads? Joel Madden is having a party. Has he had his party yet? I watch The Voice sometimes and I'm like, fuck, I hate you, Joel Madden. And then I see an ad where he says, I'm having a party in my house to celebrate me coming to Australia. And I'm like, oh, I so want to go to that party. I'm going to eat as much KFC as I can. What's the problem? The problem is there's a batch of unguarded eggs in a nest and a hungry seal in the vicinity. That is the story of how Seal ate his own children. And I think that's the title of our show. Our Seal ate his own
turtles.
Colleen.
They were turtles.
Until now in my comedy career, I have not had to employ the concept of the
But
timeout.
I was told this was interactive and all that, so I saw it on his face, like the internet. So here I am, and I was invited to be here with Sophie. Thank you.
Who's Sophie? I'll see you after the show. Naomi, give me a heckle.
Your deconstruction of life in a society fragmented by technology and alienated by the free market is lacking in conviction and contains serious flaws in analysis.
Ouch.
I know.
That stings. How are we for time, Michaela?
Well, we had 2 minutes before that heckle. We now have 1.
We now have 1. Fuck.
Turtles.
Dude, don't heckle my...
They're not turtles. They're not turtles just because they were born in a turtlesque way. Look, if you are born in an oven, it doesn't make you a cake. If you are born on a plane, it doesn't make you an engine. If you are born sitting on top of an elephant, it doesn't make you Indian. If you are born under a chair, it doesn't make you a prize. If If you were born to Margie Abbott, it doesn't make you a cunt. Though the odds aren't good. Though apparently, because 3 children were born to Margie Abbott, Tony Abbott's a feminist. Because when God wants to make someone a feminist, you know what he does? Said Margie. He gives him 3 daughters. Fuck you, God. That's inefficient. He could do it a lot quicker. Just zap with your feminist ray. Which all gods have. Point is, we have constructed a little show called How Seal Ate His Own Children, featuring Colleen. As the genie. Who grants Delta 3 wishes. Her first wish is that Seal does not eat her children. She's not a very good genie. She's been drinking. Her second wish is to be a judge on The Voice. And her third wish is to be able to play the piano without looking like she has a major spinal deformity. The genie grants her wishes. They live happily ever after, and Seal goes to jail, where he belonged in the first place, for he's a disreputable character and a boat person, probably. And we know how scary those are. Some just arrived in Western Australia, and when you're going home tonight, watch out for them. They could be out there. Waiting for you. You go to your car, you're fumbling with your keys. Get that car door open quickly, because there is an asylum seeker creeping up behind you, and he is going to grab you, and he is going to claim benefits from you. And you will not have the moral fibre to resist. It has been sapped by Julia Gillard's Marxist junta. And that's a word meaning regime. That's not a euphemism. Ladies and gentlemen, we have put on a show. I think it's been a good show. If we put on a show tomorrow night called Julia Gillard's Marxist junta and the yoke which emerges therefrom, maybe it will be even better. But I don't think you can get a much better show than How Seal Ate His Own Children featuring Colleen. And I would like you to give a big hand to Colleen, my co-conspirator. Please thank Michaela, who eventually learnt to read her watch. Please thank Naomi, who really made us believe that she hates my guts. And please thank yourselves, because you have put on a wonderful show tonight. Although obviously, if you disagree, I respect your opinion. If you think you are shit, I'm not going to argue. It's been a wonderful show, you've been a wonderful audience, and I've enjoyed it very much. Go downstairs to the bar, have a drink, try to put this behind you, go home, dream long and loud of Delta Goodrem's dilated cervix and the enormous emu eggs flying out of it as Nazi robots hurl balls at her thighs. We'll be selling the movie rights in the morning. Thank you very much. Let's hug it out, bitches.